Hello, my beautiful wildflowers. How are you today? Alexis here without modesty. Well, today I want to just have a chat. I mean, no makeup looks, no unboxings. Not that I don't have boxes to unbox, but I really want to focus on you today and what's happening. And so if you're interested in having a real quick chat, I promise it'll be short. Hey, my beautiful wildflowers and guests. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing, especially if you feel that I added value. And please, before you leave, just hit like, which will help me out. But anyway, the reason why I'm on video today is because I'm just checking in to see how you are all doing. Here in California, we started our lockdown again. And that's effective Sunday, right? So what is that? That's the 6th of December. And this lockdown order will go into effect for us until January 4th. And then at that time, the council and then the health department will get together to see if we need to continue. And of course, that all comes down from the state government, which is our governor, Gavin Newsom. And so he's taken a proactive approach at trying to really temper this down because we're down to about 15% of our intensive care unit beds, and we don't want to deplete them. And we don't want to really push our healthcare to the maximum because we don't know what can happen. And if we populate all of those beds with COVID people, what's going to happen with those people that come in as traumas? If somebody gets hurt and somebody gets in an accident and all of those things. So, all of these things have to be considered. And so because of that, there again is going to be a vulnerability of emotional and mental health strains. And so I'm just checking in because I know it could be really difficult. And especially if you live alone or if you live with maybe one other person or two other people and you are a very social person, as I am. And I know there's Zoom and everything else, but that'll only take you so far, right? And you can only watch me for so many hours in a day. So anyway, I just want to check in to see how you're doing. Please leave me a comment below and tell me how you're hanging in there and how you're handling everything. And are you doing crafts? What are you doing to keep yourself motivated? Share with us because maybe what you're doing may help somebody else that is watching. And I just want to always remind you there are things that you cannot control. Number one, you cannot control this COVID right now. Not the way it is. You cannot control that you're in a lockdown, that some of you may not have a job now because of it. You cannot control that. You cannot control that you can't go to the restaurants because they're not open. Even here, our outdoor dining is no longer possible. And so really, we're pretty isolated. But remember, you can't help those things. You cannot control those things. So you need to stop stressing about those things. But what you can do, and sometimes it's so very hard, and I totally get it, because at one time, believe it or not, I used to look everything through a very negative lens until I got to a point where I was getting sick, mentally, emotionally, physically. And so I had to make a change, and I did. And when I did, my life turned around and things are so much better now. And I do look at things through a positive lens, even though I do know factually the negative things that are happening. But from that negative, what can I pull from it? There's a silver lining in everything if you look. And for example, okay, there's not as many cars on a road. Okay, that's great, right? And also, what are the other positives? Okay, let's go through the negatives and then we'll have the positives. So that way we get the facts out there. And I don't want to just paint it like, oh, there's always, we're all happy-go-lucky. That's not the reality, and I totally know that. But the negative is that some people may be out of work. You're not going to work if you're a social person and you do still have a job and you're doing everything through Zoom. At grocery shopping or any other type of shopping that you're used to doing is no longer routine and things are different. You cannot dine out or have social, gatherings, which is huge for some people, especially at this time of year. It's the holidays, right? And you have family maybe out of state. I do. I have a daughter up in Washington State whom I have not seen almost a year. So I totally get it. And so really, these are the negatives, and they're not things that we can control though, okay? But what can we control? We can control to look at the positives, like emissions have decreased. In other words, less pollutants, right? And less pollution means better health, especially in the inner city. Some of these kids that live in the inner city, in the industry area, and that are not, that may be in poverty, those kids they suffer from asthma, they suffer from other pulmonary issues that they're not suffering from. There's been improvements, and this is actually being studied right now. There's no pollution because there's so many industries that shut down. There's less cars and, less pollution. And same thing with animals, right? Where animals live. I'm sure they're enjoying the fresh air as well. Even though these are things that we cannot see and it's not in our day-to-day life and it may be, benign to us, but it does make a difference in a big scheme of things. And it's up to you. It's your choice how you look at things. You can look at things negatively and really brood on it, even though there's nothing you can do about it, or look at the positives and try to give yourself a break and try to come up with something, creative for yourself, looking at the positives. I mean, I love to go to work. My job actually would be better served if I'm there at the hospital and I'm looking at the system, which I do, for failures and vulnerabilities, but I can't because one extra person who can actually do their work remotely could add to the contributing spread of COVID, right? And so, and I'm, even though I like to be social, I get it that I can't. But you know what? I'm doing all I can from where I am to help others. And you can too if you look and if you reach. And also remember, another positive, I used to put miles on my car going to work. And that's, I have 12,000 miles on my car right now. My car's a 2019. And I used to travel actually back and forth. And my round trip is, let's see, about 40 miles. And so 40 miles a day times 5 days a week, that would have added up. The positive thing is my car insurance went down because of it, that I'm not traveling to work right now, right? And also, I'm not paying parking. I was paying $100 a month on parking. I'm not paying that anymore. And I used to get up at 3 a.m. to get ready to go to work. And so because I was there, no later than 5 a.m. So, that's less time that I have to travel, which means more time being able to contribute to my job. And also, I'm not eating out. And my husband and I used to eat out almost daily. Almost daily. And then we didn't eat out or even take out for a good 6 months at the beginning of COVID because I didn't want to be exposed. I don't know what was happening out there. And we still really don't. But I don't want to be exposed and I don't want to expose my husband. So we would really cook our food at home. So we saved tons of money actually doing that. What else? There's so many things if you really, really think about it. And that's just about aspects of positive things about my work. Imagine what I have at home. And I can see the hills. And California, sometimes when the industry are kicking up and they're doing all of this, manufacturing, you can't see the hills because of the pollution. Now I see we have beautiful rolling hills. So there's positives in everything. And I know it's not that easy, and I get it. I totally get it. But I wanted to really spend maybe 5-10 minutes to check in with you, my beautiful wildflowers, and anybody else that may be watching, to say, hey, this is first world problems, believe it or not. These are first world problems. Imagine how the third world is dealing with this right now. First of all, they're already dealing with hunger. They're already battling not having clean water. How do you think they're doing right now? Not so good. Not so good. Really, even though we're in this big, pickle of a, environment and this situation, we're still first world problems. Seriously. And this is a reason why I always say to you at the end, don't sweat the small stuff. Because don't. give your mind and your emotions a break and really put things into perspective. If you put things into perspective, things make more sense. So anyway, I didn't do any makeup openings or anything like that, but just in case, you know what, I do have one package, and it's from Nordstrom, so I think I know what it is, but I'll open it up for you just real quick. It's probably a 2-minute thing. So just so I can give you something extra. And also, I will be doing a giveaway soon. Not sure exactly when, but I will be doing that soon. I definitely will be doing a large one when I hit 300 subscribers. I'm almost there, but not quite there yet. So, but when that happens, I will do another one at that time as well. Okay, here's the box. And this is how it came. And yeah, I probably shouldn't be shopping so much, you know, but what else are you gonna do, right? But anyway, that's another thing. You know, I get up in the morning, I put on makeup, either on camera or not on camera, but that makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm human. And I also put on some perfume to smell nice. And, you know, I try to do the things that I would do if I was going to work. And so even though it's great if you don't want to put on makeup, you're in your, you know, sweats. And sometimes I don't put on makeup sometimes because I still feel good. But, you know, I want to give my skin a break. I put on my sweats, and on top I'll put a nice shirt and I go on Zoom, you know. So it is what it is. But I don't turn on my camera for those. And then when I have to turn on my camera, of course I have to put on my scarf, and I put on makeup, and then, you know, I wear a very nice, you know, shirt up top. But, you know, I may be just wearing shorts underneath. Who knows? But anyway, here. Okay. I did order this because I love perfume. And this, again, I've been loving Jo Malone. I got my first one, the holiday one. I don't know if they're back in stock at Nordstrom's yet, but I fell in love with Jo Malone, and that was my first one. I'm actually wearing him now, or her now. And so this one here is the darker one, which is the Intense. And they usually come clear if you're familiar with Jo Malone. But this one here is the Intense. And I had a sample of this, and I just really fell in love with it. And let me tell you the name of this one. And this one is Oud and Bergamot. Oud is actually O-U-D. And my husband really introduced me to Oud because we have incense made of Oud, and it's extremely expensive. And my husband is from actually Yemen. He's Arab. And where he came from now, I mean, the poor place has been beat up, you know, because of the war and everything. But, I mean, they have beautiful things there. The world's best honey come from Yemen. And oud comes from Yemen that are so good. And, you know, this perfume is just really, really good. And so, just wanted to share that with you. But that's all I have today. And, you know, I hope you guys really, you know, feel better about the situation. And I hope that, you know, you all know that we're all in the same bucket. Really, we are. We're all in the same bucket. And hopefully, you know, if everybody starts to mask, and they should be, and really follow the guidelines of social distancing, we'll get out of this. I mean, things will never be the same again. And I don't like saying the words new normal, because was it ever normal? I don't think so. So, you know, whatever the new situation is, and what our new environment, whatever it is going to be different. And we need to really embrace change. And a lot of people don't do well with change, but you need to learn to do well with change, because that's the only thing that's constant in life, okay? And so, well, my beautiful wildflowers, and those of you who haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing. And if I added any value to you today, please hit like. And thank you so much for spending a moment with me. And please, please, please take care. Please, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not an oncoming train, I promise you. Okay, so remember, my beautiful wildflowers, never, ever sweat the small stuff. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.